Welcome, guys. I'm just gonna make sure it's all connected. So it's telling me that it's live. So hopefully that is working for you. Make sure you can hear me. The chat is working, that you can hear my volume, see my video. It's behind on my phone, that's funny. Make sure you can hear me. It's annoying to listen to yourself, I guess. We're just gonna let YouTube kind of pulls you in chunks, so I'm gonna talk just for a minute as it pulls people in, as people start popping on. Just for a second. Put a comment in the comments so that so I know that it's all working. That's so funny. I'm watching myself, but it's like delayed on my thing, and so I don't know. It's kind of funny. So there, I'm like, it's behind, so I don't know how that's working, but anyways, all right. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, Claire, Taylor, I can hear you guys. Hi, baby. What? Awesome, good. People are commenting. What? Look. You want these? Can you say hi? Say hi. Hi. Look, Grandma's on there. Say hi, Grandma.
Hi, Mama. Hi, Mommy.
Hi, Grammy. Huh? Where's Grammy? I don't think she's on yet, but... Oh, there she is. Grammy's there too now. All right. Okay, go watch your TV. Watch your TV. She's got all the snacks in the world. So this morning when I was brushing my hair or trying to get ready for this, I couldn't find my brush. I think I left it at my mom's house, actually. So I've been having, Amelia just brought it back out here, to brush my hair with the little trolls thing. And this is a lot of hair to brush with that. So my hair is like so staticky. It's driving me nuts. And then, where are my kids, Claire? Becca is sleeping, and hopefully he's sleeping. And then Maylee is watching TV. So hopefully that all stays that way, but we'll see. Maylee will probably come in like 50 times, and then I guess she'll just have to join me. That's all right. So last night I had a dream that because I've been trying to do, or like work up the courage to do a live for like, I don't know, a couple of weeks now. So last night I was like, I'm going to do it tomorrow. Awesome. Hello, Sheldon. And so last night I had a dream. So I bought this new makeup thing from the dollar store, and it's called bronzer. It's in like a pen, like a pencil, you know, kind of thing. It's like a big old pencil. Anyways, I had a dream that because I don't really know how to do makeup. So you know, you put it on the sides of your nose or whatever, and then like up here on this line, on your hairline or whatever, and then like right there. I had a dream that I had just like put it on, and then usually I have to like rub it out, you know, so it like blends in or whatever. And I had a dream that at the end of the day, today, at the end of the day after all of this was done, that I forgot to rub it in, and so I just had like brown lines across my forehead and my nose and my cheek, and it's just like a pencil line, like pencil line. So I woke up and I was like, oh my gosh, don't use that today, because I was super nervous about it. So that's super funny. Megan, Addison, Blake, aw, cute. Okay, I'm so glad that you guys are all here. Okay, so let's get started, because this is like the more important thing of why we're here, is not to hear me talk, but to make some cookies. I think YouTube's pulled you guys in pretty well, so we're just gonna get started. Okay, so I'm gonna hold up the recipe, and you can go ahead and screenshot. I'm gonna cover my face just in case you screenshot it and I'm making a funny face in the background. Go ahead and screenshot it. That way, if you're gonna follow along right now, you can look back and forth. If I don't say the recipe on accident, you can go back to your picture and look at that. And then you can also keep it for future references. There's tons of chocolate chip cookie recipes out there, you guys, and I'm sure all of them are really good. I've tried a lot of them, and I think it's more of techniques of ways that I do things that work better. Does that make sense? So I'll try to say them as I'm going. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. Or if I forget to say how much of something that I'm using, then just ask. So we're going to use 3/4 of a cup of butter. I like my butter hard. People say to set it out on the counter and softened butter or whatever, but I prefer my butter hard, and I think that's what makes my cookies soft in the end, because they hold their structure until they're baked. Does that make sense? So I just pull it straight out of the fridge. I don't set it on the counter before, honestly, because every time I would try to do it, I never remembered. So, beginning of cookie recipes, you're always going to cream your butter and your sugar. So whatever sugars are included in your recipe, you're going to cream that. So we got 3/4 of a cup of white sugar. I'm going to add that. And then I got 3/4 a cup of brown sugar. I'm sure everyone knows, but you got to pack your brown sugar. Okay, I have to lock this because it tends to come up because my butter's hard. Okay, cream your sugar for 3 minutes. So I start out on low till it all kind of gets combined. I'm gonna bring this over so you can kind of see for a second. So it's not spewing stuff everywhere. And then I turn it on to about, whoa, now it is. Here I'm on like a 2, 3. Spitting everywhere. So now my sugar is becoming smaller chunks, and I just let it go from there. And I just tell Google, hey Google, set a timer for 2 minutes. 2 minutes, okay. Pretty soon it'll all become incorporated. Turn it up one between 3 and 4. In my opinion, you can't over cream your butter and your sugar. Maybe my mother-in-law would disagree with that because she's actually good at baking. But whenever I make cookies, sometimes I forget it for like 5 minutes. And it hasn't changed. So you can't over cream your butters and sugars. In this instance, I should say that. Okay, so now it's becoming a little more chunky. Sticking to the sides. Not all powdery, it's more wet. Okay. Take it up to a 4 probably. You got 1 minute left. While we're doing that, I don't know how well you can hear me over that going. Put the camera back. Okay. Here, Mom. Whoa. Say hi. Got like 4 different outfits on. Okay, so now I'm sticking to the sides. Ah, can't figure out. Okay. Can you see that I'm sticking to the sides? I wonder if I turn this on. See how I'm sticking to the sides now? So I changed consistencies. I was powder, And then I was just like a moist, almost like a dough. It was not sticking to the sides. And now we're pretty much creamed. Does that make sense? My hand's shaking. It's hard to hold the computer like that. Okay. I don't know how to stop that. Okay. So we're turning that off and we'll scrape it off the sides. I remember when I was younger, I didn't exactly know how to follow recipes, and I felt like it was like, put all these ingredients in at one time, mix it, and then throw it in the oven. I also think that was a bad thing, Mom, but I'm just saying. Okay, next we have 1 egg and 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and I kind of put little things to group them over here. I add my egg and my vanilla next. So I actually have made, already made a batch of cookies this morning there and then over up there. And so those are my baked cookies. My family likes to eat cookies as frozen cookie dough. So after I make them into the cookies like this, I just put them in a Ziploc bag and freeze them. And we like to just eat them frozen straight like that. Does that make sense? So if I'm going, if I'm going to do that, then I omit the egg. So if I'm just doing cookie dough balls, I omit the egg. Does that make sense? So since I already have baked cookies over here, I'm going to omit the egg in this recipe just because the rest of them are going to probably be for frozen. I could cook them also, I'm sure, and it would be just fine. But in this time, I'm going to omit the egg. Okay, I already baked cookies made cookies this morning. These are not cooked yet, so I'm going to stick them in the oven. That way they come out at the right time of when I'm finishing this, so we can kind of see what they're supposed to look like when you take them out, okay? So I have my oven at 350 degrees. It says 375. I scratched it out and wrote 350 because I kind of like that a little better. I don't know if that's my oven or what, but anyways. All right, Carrie's on here. Hi, Carrie. Okay, so I'm omitting the egg, but add an egg if you're just cooking them to eat them right now for warm cookies, I guess. Okay, then we're gonna add a teaspoon of vanilla. I have Mexican vanilla right now. I feel like I'm yelling. And so it's a more potent vanilla. If you just have like vanilla, imitation vanilla or whatever, I would put like 1 or 2 teaspoons in there. But this Mexican vanilla is a little more potent, a little more strong, so I only have to use about a teaspoon. Which I guess I don't measure it anyways, so why does it matter? Okay, I just grabbed a little bit of milk because I remembered if I'm going to omit the egg, I'm going to be a little bit dry. So I just grabbed a little bit of milk. If I need it at the end, I'll add it. Okay, 2 1/4 cups of flour. You don't want to overdo the flour because your batter will be very dry. So make sure you're kind of on the less side as opposed to too much, okay? 1 cup, 2 cups. And a 4th. I'm just going to give that a quick little stir. Okay, next you're using baking soda. You need 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Okay, next is salt. You can use whatever salt you have, just cheap iodized salt, regular table salt, whatever. But I have this, it's like a thick salt, a coarse salt. I don't know if you can see. And so I prefer to use this. I don't know if I'm just trying to use it up or I like the salty and to go with my sweet. Anyways, you can use any kind of salt that you want. Okay, next is nuts. I'm gonna bring you guys over here. So, nuts, you use whatever nuts that you have in your house right now, okay? Right now, I have this. So more chocolate almonds. Use whatever kind of nuts that you have. It could be, you can use almonds, you can use slivered almonds. If you use chunked almonds, just do what I'm gonna do, because these are full almonds, so. And it calls for half a cup. So. Okay, I'm just chopping the nuts, basically. I prefer it a little more chunky. I'll show you right there. Whoops, hello. Size of my almonds. I like them a little chunkier, so. Let's stir this first, actually. Hey, Missy, touch it. Okay, so I'm just incorporating my flour, baking soda, and salt. I'm going to see where my texture is, because it's probably going to be on the hair on the dry side. I'm a little bit dry. I'm just going to add some milk to see if I can get my texture back. So I've added probably just under 1/4 cup so far. So I'm going to add a little bit more than that. Okay, here is my texture. Pretty wet. You can hear my mixer slowing down. Perfect, just what I want. Okay, now I'm going to add my nuts. Let it incorporate. All the nuts kind of fall to the bottom, so I try to scrape them off halfway through. Okay, next it calls for 1 package of chocolate chips. Right now I just have like a huge Costco bag. So I'm going to do 1.5 cups of chocolate chips. You're supposed to mix these in by hand, but I'm not strong enough to mix these in by hand. So I just use my mixer. A little at a time, let them incorporate. Same thing, they all fall to the bottom, so I gotta scrape it off so it'll incorporate it back into that batter. Dough. What is cookie dough? Dough. Sounds weird. So the best way for me to get good texture on my cookie dough is to add a lot of chocolate chips. Then my dough holds together, if that makes sense. The mixer's like, are you done adding those yet? It's a lot. Alright, we're pretty well incorporated. Show you real close here. the dough looks like. Let's turn this on. Tends to help. Okay, next. I didn't set a timer for this. Okay, they're ready to take out. Okay, I'm going to show you what they look like when you take them out of the oven, if this will help. Okay, so my cookies don't look done, right? They look soft. They are soft. Can you see how I'm indenting, ruining this one? But they're done. Take them out and let them cook for the rest of the time while your pan is cooling. Okay, so here are my finish that I cooked an hour ago, and look how soft they are. Okay, they're perfect. This is how you want your cookies. So you have to take your, Mitchell, don't cook them till they're finished in your oven, because when you take them out, they're too soft to take off your pan, so they've got to cool on your pan. So if you take them out when they're fully cooked, it's too late. They're going to be hard. They're going to be hard cookies, okay? And I guess I can give credit to Mitchell that taught me, because he always tells me, I taught you to take them out early. Because when we were first married, he would always say, they're done, take them out. And I'm like, they're still soft and gooey on the top. And he's like, no, you got to take them out then. So I've perfected it since then. You're welcome, Mitchell. So I let these cool until they're touchable, whatever. They'll firm up on your pan. So every time I make cookies, I obviously freeze them, because I already told you that bad secret of us. So I take my cookie sheets, and then I'm going to scoop them out onto my cookie sheet. I'm going to scooch over here. Okay, a few things that I did forget to say. Parchment paper. I guess it's too high. Parchment paper is key. So whatever kind of parchment paper that you can buy, I like to buy this huge one from Costco because it has a ton in there. And when I first started using parchment paper, I thought that it was super expensive. But really, if you buy it in this, I don't know how much it is, like a lot. 164 feet. And it comes with 2 of them for like 15 bucks. So get it at Costco if you're going to use it. So line whatever you're doing with parchment paper. My mom likes to use stone. For kind of the same concept, if that makes sense, because they're going to continue cooking on your sheet on a stone. I prefer my metal cookie sheets with parchment paper on top, okay? So whenever I make cookies, I'm going to show you how close I line them up here. I do, let's see, I can just show you from my other pan. 1, 2, 3, 4 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 4 short ways, 5 long ways. And I just made these with my family on Sunday, or a different kind of chocolate chips. And I was trying to put them close together, and everyone kept yelling at me, they're too close, they're too close. So there I have 4 across, and it does look too close. But look, 4 across, 5 across. They don't expand very much, so you can put, that's way more than a dozen cookies. I don't know how many more. I'm not a math person. On a cookie sheet at a time. So what I usually do when I make this recipe, because it has so many, let's see. So 4 times 5 is 20 times 2. So it gives me 40 cookies. What is this, an inch? An inch cookie scoop, I think. Oh, I got some comments. Hold on. Okay, Claire was just asking about, that was a couple minutes ago. But anyway, she was just asking about them holding their shape. So I'll show you one more time. Whoops, about them holding their shape. So they don't flatten out, and I think it's because of the cold butter, I've officially decided. And my chocolate chips I use frozen. I keep my chocolate chips in the freezer. So I pull them out frozen, so my chocolate chips are frozen. My butter is cold. And look how many I can fit on a sheet. They don't go flat, okay? Good question, Claire. Thank you. Caitlin, hi. Totally spaced it. It's a kid's thing. It's fine. Okay, so I do one sheet like this, the one that's already done. And then on this other cookie sheet, I just pile them in here. I'm only going to do a few. You don't have to watch me do the whole thing. I hear Beckett. He's talking in the back. He's like, I'm not sleeping. So funny. I love the comments. Let me know if you guys have any more questions while I'm doing this part right here. That was a good question, Claire, though. Thanks for asking that one, because I agree. The same thing. People try to use Crisco, which my sister-in-law, Charmaine, has a really good recipe for those, which I like, and it's kind of the same concept, but for some reason, because butter tastes better, that's why. Okay, so I'm going to do all this later. So look how closely I spaced all of these cookies. I just take this whole sheet, this whole cookie sheet, and I place it in my deep freezer, and it's going to be full of cookies. I just like pile them on here, right? Put them in my deep freezer and let them freeze by themselves. You know how they say you can't just throw it in a bag? You can't, because those become one huge cookie. So I freeze them individually like this, and then I take all of these and put them in a Ziploc bag, and we eat them like cookie dough balls, like cookie bites. We like them frozen, so try it. Tell me if you try it. Okay, I think that is all that I have for here today. Do you see my tent back there? It's hard to be at home every day. My kids don't even go to school, and I feel like we're going crazy. I mean, I coach track, and they took away that, and so it's like 3 hours of my day during the springtime, but the rest of the time it's the same. And I don't know why, but it's just rough. Anyways, so we built a tent inside. Let's see if you can see. It's like a full 8-man tent. It literally fills up that entire room, and we put blankets and camping pads and everything in there so Maylee could play in there, because we're on our last leg. We're having to get creative. Okay, Christy just asked, I think it's a 1-inch scoop. You can see it like in comparison to my hand. I believe it is a 1-inch scoop. So next, with this recipe, I'm going to try to make monster cookies, but I need to buy a bigger scoop. So maybe I'll do another one once I figure out how to make those work, because I do fear of them flattening out too much, but I think we'll be fine with the whole cold butter thing. Any other questions? I literally locked my kids out yesterday, Caitlin said. Yeah, it's a little rough. I agree. It's a different scenario. Anyways, it's all good. Okay, so try here. I'm going to pick this one up. Soft. Ooh. That's how soft they are. They're not ready to be taken off the pan yet. Anyways, tell me if you try this. Thanks for watching, you guys. And I don't think anyone has any more questions. So that is it. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.